Now,
Excellent.
welcome to Hanwakan and Tessa Whitecloud, who's been spending the day with us at the Balmoral Hall Equity Conference. Welcome. Tell us about your day.
The day was amazing. We began with a blanket exercise, and all the students were very engaged. They all had amazing questions. And then afterwards, we had an amazing debrief where they asked a variety of questions, and they provided solutions that I'd never thought of. And I think Tessa herself was also very impressed.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about how, based on being non-Indigenous in Canada, it's our responsibility to be a part of the solution to make Canada better and more inclusive for Indigenous peoples, and it's our responsibility because we get to live here. And so it's our duty as a Canadian to try to fight the injustices that the Indigenous community is facing, but to make sure that we do that in a good way and to make sure that we recognize that we're responsible. So it's not that necessarily the history is our fault, but that the future certainly is ours to fix.
Follow-up question, and you've already started answering, was did anything surprise you today?
Not very much surprised, but just very much reinforced that Balmoral Hall has an amazing group of students. There are amazing teachers here doing amazing work, and that it was a privilege to be here, and that they were very welcoming, and we had lots of laughs, but we also had very much good learnings.
Yeah, I think it was really exciting to see the way that the students interacted with each other and were taking care of each other in the learning of some hard history, but also talking about being inspired and figuring out what their passion is to move forward with purpose to make Canada better.
A little history, maybe. When did the two of you become involved in teaching?
So we did our first blanket exercise together in March of 2015, and we met in November 2014. So pretty quickly after we met, I'd been doing the blanket exercise before with Kairos, so I actually interned with them as part of my master's degree in research on privilege in relation to missing and murdered Indigenous women. And then Hanwakan runs a program for high school students and needed an activity that would kind of be about culture but also be learning, and so we decided to do this together, and then ever since I've been doing it with lots of different groups and lots of different elders, and just really enjoy the opportunity to give people this history and then the tools to move from this history into action.
Yeah, so I got a new job in 2014, and right away I met this young lady, and then right away we were just like, whoa, like we have skills and abilities that we could both combine and we could use them to educate others. So that's what we've been doing, and it's been going very well. And today is just another day where it's like, wow, we're doing great work, and there are other people doing great work. So we're just inspired.
Since you started, have you noticed any tangible changes in Winnipeg in particular, being that we're living here?
I think, well, like there was a school out in St. Malo that took the blanket exercise that we had done with their school and made it into a play. And so they created a play and they did it for their school, and then they did it for the entire school division. And that was something that I never thought would have ever been done, and it was not in my reality of something that could have been done.
What was really interesting is that the students, the first time we did the exercise, the teachers said that they started being a lot more kind of compassionate with each other, especially because they have very Indigenous, non-Indigenous mixed classrooms. So that was really important, and then the Indigenous youth got to play really important roles in the play. And so how Indigenous youth suddenly, because the curriculum reflected their realities, were really excited to be a part of a play in a way that they never had been before. So that's definitely tangible. I also think just there's a heightened awareness that people want to look beyond the news story or look beyond so they're thinking, we need to contextualize all of these things, and the blanket exercise helps you contextualize things, and so, Kairos did a great job in designing it and continues to update it and make it a great tool.
Yeah, and I think we've established a partnership here with Balmoral Hall, and I think we'll be back again.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Before I let you go and try and get a couple more questions in here.
Yeah, of course.
You mentioned a few things that, because this is on our Facebook page, it's for anyone who in and outside of our community. So there's going to be people watching, we hope, that have never heard of anything that we've done.
Okay.
So just to put it into context for them, you mentioned a few media resources like Red Rising Media, that someone who's just interested in learning more can get some more information. But if you were to try and leave a message here on this video for someone who just wants to take that first step into educating themselves, have you got that endpoint that we can share with our people watching this?
Yeah, for sure. So I think, honestly, if you just want to just go on Wikipedia and look up Indigenous people in Manitoba and just read the page, and then I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get sucked into Wikipedia myself. I mean, like
yes, he does.
like you read about porcupines, and then you read about the porcupine. Like
get back on track.
Right. the quills that are coming out of their backs, like they're just hair covered in keratin, right? And keratin is the thing that just makes our nails, right? I mean, you can just really sucked into all the education that's just free and available there, right? And for myself, I mean, even reading about my own people, right? I mean, I think that's a resource that I've used. I've encouraged my own family to use that, and I think it's a great resource that anybody could use.
Yeah, Red Rising Magazine is a good place to start. Sisters in Spirit website is a really good place to start, which is housed with the Native Women's Association of Canada. The Kairos, which is Kairos, who designed the blanket exercise, has tons of resources up about it. So those are some definite places that you can start for that beginning history lesson. But also try to connect with an Indigenous group or Indigenous learners where you are, and go to a vigil or for a missing or murdered Indigenous woman, or go to a round dance, or go to Manitowabi. Like Manitowabi is Manitoba's powwow. Show up, learn about the history there.
Yeah.
And if they're interested, where can people find you to follow you and what you're doing?
So I'm at Tessa Whitecloud on Instagram and Twitter, and Hanwakan is HB Whitecloud on Instagram and Twitter, and those are both places you can find us.
And our emails are available online, and we welcome any questions, and we're definitely open to discussions. Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending the day with us and spending the time with me here this afternoon.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.